How Indo-China border dispute once split the Communist Party of India. The impact of Sino-India War on CPI becomes understandable in context of the pressure and communist ideology was facing worldwide in an era when colonial forces were being diminished. The killing of 10 Indian CRPF personnel by the Chinese forces on October 21, 1959, is known to have been the start of hostilities that finally culminated in the Sino Indian War of 1962. The event that took place at the high mountain range of eastern Ladakh at a cold, dry spot known as Kongka Pass came as a huge setback to the Indian government. It was also the moment that causes the beginning of the fracture within the second most popular political party in the country at the time, the Communist Party of India. The war between India and China in 1962 was to have its strongest impact on politics in India as it causes the split of the CPI. Of course, one cannot disregard that all was not well in the party that come to become the face of left ideologies in India right from the time of independence of the country. Differing ideology over the nature of Indian independence and then over the fundamental character of Indian state and society have caused multiple factions to arise within the party. However, it was the war of 1962 that was to play a crucial role in determining the final split. The impact of Sino-Indian War on CPI become the understandable in context of the pressure that communist ideology was facing worldwide in era when colonial colonial forces were being diminished. International communism before Sino China War of 1962. The CPI was founded on October 17, 1920 in the city of Tashkent in Uzbekistan, which was formerly a part of the Soviet Union. The CPI is also known to have been the first attempt made by the Communist International to create Communist Party in India from amongst Indian revolutionaries who had migrated to America, Europe. Given the international origins of the CPI, the party had an ambiguous stance even when it come to the nationalist movement. A case in the point here is is the 1940s when faced with Gandhi's call of quit India movement on one hand and the Soviet Union appeal to back the British in the Second World War on the other. The CPI alienated itself from the freedom struggle in the period between the late 1950s and early 60s, an event that would have the most far reaching consequences on communist ideology across the world is the breakdown of Sino Soviet relations. The two communist powers were in loggerhead over their interpretation of the Marxist Leninist ideals. China decries the Soviet Union's policy of international peaceful coexistence with West. At the same time, Soviet Union had found an ally in India. The USSR appealed to the CPI to lend its support to Nehru's foreign policy, such against the wishes of certain section of the party who had their animosity toward the Congress. Consequently, those who did not agree with the Soviet Union's call for support toward Nehru found themselves looking for guidance from the Communist Party in China. The War of 1962 and split in CPI. It was in the atmosphere crisis within international communism that Dalai Lama escaped to India in 1959 when the Chinese brutally surpassed the Tibetan uprising. The CPI acted as a unit. A Communist Party statement of March 31st praised the Chinese for leading the Tibetan from medieval darkness and blamed the rebellion on Tibetan slave owners backed by the Indian reactionaries and Western imperialists, wrote researchers Robert W. Stern in the article published in 1965 titled The Sino Indian Border Controversy and the Communist Party of India. Even when Nehru revealed that Chinese forces were in northern frontier agency and Ladakh, and CPI remained largely silent and tried to minimize the importance of the affair. The situation began to change when when the Indian government revealed a note from China disputing the 100-mile long McMahon line on the Sino-Indian frontier. When the Central Executive Committee of the party met in Calcutta in September to discuss Sino-Indian relation, a group of leading communists from Bombay and Kerala openly dissented with party, demanding it to declare support for Nehru's border policy. The Calcutta resolution, though, was a defeat for descendant. It equated the authenticity of McMahon line with the authenticity of Chinese territorial claim based on map which had been roundly condemned in the Indian press and parliament, wrote Stern. Nonetheless, Party General Secretary Ajay Ghosh managed to mediate between the two factions of retain a semblance of unity in the party. However, it was short-lived. A month later, faced with public backlash against Kolkata resolution and also the incident at Kongka Pass, a faction of nationalists from the CPI made a public their disfaction with party's stance, participating at a parliamentary board meeting of the Samyukta Maharashtra Samiti, a Mukti Party organization formed to demand a separate state for Marathi speaking people. The communists in Maharashtra declared the McMahon line was India's natural boundary, and China's refusal to vacate in Indian territory was tantamount to forcible occupation. Following the incident at Kongka Pass, S.A. Dange, one of the founding members of the CPI from Maharashtra and representative of party in Lok Sabha, condemned the Chinese unequivocal. The whole country will stand behind Pandit Nehru in whatever steps he takes to avoid such incident. He said he was supported by A.K. Gopalan from Kerala, Hirendra Nath Mukherjee, who was CPI deputy leader in the Rajya Sabha, and Jharkhande Rai, who represented the party in the Uttar Pradesh Legislative Assembly. Voices of dissent soon started to emerge from Amritsar, Ahmedabad, Delhi, Hyderabad, and army other places. At the same time, a strong pro-Chinese wing remained within the party. It was strongest in Calcutta and Punjab, but was also present elsewhere. This group was largely satisfied with the Calcutta resolution and refused to lend more support to Nehru's border policy. They were called the party leftist, while their opponent were called the rightist. In the ensuing month, while efforts were made to reach a middle ground in disagreement within the party had become almost irreconcilable matter come to head in 1961 when Ghosh passes away. When Chinese forces invaded India in October 1962, Dange aided the Indian government in the arrest of thousands of those party members who mm, aligned toward China. The last straw through, though, that ultimately led the split of the party was the issue over a few letters written by Dange which were found by the party leftist. um, Dvijen Nandi showed the former offering his services to the British intelligence in culminated in the meeting of July 1964 when about 100 parties leftist formally announced the creation of new communist party, while initially both parties initiated on being called CPI due to necessities of election procedure. The leftist group registered themselves as Communist Party of India, Marxist, or CPI-M.